Celtic Cross has a reputation for being one of the most complicated tarot spreads ever created. 10 cards, 10 positions, a page full of meanings to remember. And for many beginners, it feels impossible. But here's the truth. The Celtic Cross isn't difficult because of the number of cards. It's difficult because most people learn it the wrong way. They try to memorize 10 separate position meanings and then somehow force the cards to fit. In this video, I'm going to show you a much simpler approach. You'll learn what each position actually represents, how the cards work together, and how to read a Celtic Cross as a story rather than 10 disconnected messages. By the end of this video, you'll be able to look at any Celtic Cross spread and know exactly where to start. Let's begin. Why the Celtic Cross is so powerful. The reason the Celtic Cross has survived for over a century is simple. It gives you a complete picture of a situation. Most spreads answer a question. The Celtic Cross explores a question. Instead of asking, what will happen? It asks, what's happening now? What created this? What's influencing it? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Where is this heading? What do you need to know? Think of it as a map rather than a prediction. The spread shows the landscape surrounding the issue. The big secret. Before we look at all 10 positions, I want to share something important. Most readers don't actually read the spread from card 1 to card 10. They start by understanding the core story. The first 6 cards create the main narrative. The last 4 cards provide context and advice. Once you understand that, the spread becomes much easier. Instead of 10 separate cards, you're reading 2 connected sections. The heart of the spread. Position 1, the present situation. This is the heart of the reading. It shows what the querent is experiencing right now. What is the central issue? What is demanding attention? Imagine someone asks about their career. If the 8 of Pentacles appears here, the focus may be work, skill development, effort, or craftsmanship. This card tells you where the story begins. Position 2, the challenge. This card crosses the first card. It represents tension, an obstacle, a challenge, or sometimes something that is helping but creating pressure. Ask yourself, what is interacting with card 1? How are these 2 cards speaking to each other? The relationship between cards 1 and 2 is often more important than either card individually. Position 3, the foundation. This position represents what lies beneath the situation, the roots, the hidden factors, the deeper truth. If position 1 is what you can see above the surface, position 3 is what exists underground. Sometimes the querent already knows this influence, sometimes they don't. Position 4, the past. This card shows what is moving away, a previous influence, an event or pattern that helped create the current situation. Notice how this card connects to position 1. The past often explains why the present looks the way it does. Position 5, conscious awareness. This card represents what occupies the person's mind, their goals, their expectations, their beliefs, their focus. This is what they are consciously aware of, what they are thinking about, what they believe is important. Position 6, near future. This is not the final outcome, and this is where many beginners get confused. This position usually shows the next stage of development, the next step, the next chapter, not the final destination. Think of it as the next scene in the movie, the staff of the cross. Now we move to the vertical line of 4 cards. These cards reveal how the person is interacting with the situation. Position 7, the self. How does the querent see themselves? What role are they playing? What energy are they bringing? This position often reveals a blind spot or an attitude that is shaping events. Position 8, external influences, other people, the environment, circumstances, outside forces. This card answers the question, what is happening around me that I need to understand? Position 9, hopes and fears. This is one of the most fascinating positions because hopes and fears are often connected. The thing we desperately want can also be the thing we're afraid of. This position reveals emotional investment, what matters most, what feels uncertain. Position 10, likely outcome. Notice the word likely, not guaranteed, likely. This card shows where the current energy appears to be heading if nothing significant changes. It is a snapshot of a direction, not a fixed fate. How to actually read the spread. Now that you know the positions, here's the method I use. First, look at the overall impression. What stands out? Major arcana, lots of cups, lots of swords, repeated numbers. Then read cards 1 and 2 together. This is the central conflict, the heart of the reading. Next, connect cards 3, 4, 5, and 6. These cards tell the story of past, present, conscious focus, next development. Finally, examine cards 7 through 10. These reveal how the person is experiencing the situation and where the current path may lead. Suddenly, you're not reading 10 cards. You're reading one story. The biggest mistake beginners make. The biggest mistake is treating every position like a separate reading. The Celtic Cross is not 10 mini readings. It's one conversation. Every card influences the others. Every card adds context. Every card contributes to the larger narrative. Always ask, how does this card connect to the cards around it? That question alone will improve your readings dramatically. Practice exercise. Here's a simple challenge. Take a Celtic Cross you've already done. Don't read the positions individually. Instead, summarize the entire spread in 3 sentences. Beginning, middle, end. This forces you to focus on the story rather than isolated meanings. And that's where real tarot reading begins. The Celtic Cross may look intimidating at first, but once you stop trying to memorize 10 separate meanings and start reading the spread as a story, everything becomes much easier. I'd love to know in the comments, have you ever used a Celtic Cross spread, or has it always felt too overwhelming to try? And if you'd like to learn how to interpret multiple cards together instead of one card at a time, make sure you watch the next video, because that's the skill that transforms card meanings into actual tarot readings. There's a lot more to uncover. I'll see you in the next one.